Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am Sunny Sage 11 Selena, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for clicking on this video and for coming with me on this 30-day video challenge. I will have a link on one of these sides where you can watch any previous videos in the challenge that you may have missed. So I'm compiling all of them into a playlist. So for today's video topic, it just kind of came as, I guess, something I got while I was out and about. The lesson I learned and what clarity I got was when we can find ways to lean away from trying to control a situation or trying to exert a lot of resistance against something that we know we just need to kind of go with the flow on, we can some ways block an opportunity or block a sense of growth from that experience. So today, actually, as I speak, I'm looking at boxes on the other side of my apartment because I'm moving tomorrow to the next building. So just packing up. I'm not a big fan of packing. I've moved often in my adulthood, and still I'm just not the biggest fan of packing. Yeah, I don't know if there's a resounding like consensus. Like, do you enjoy packing? Like when you move, do you like the whole process of packing up boxes and getting things, shifted over? But it is what it is, and thankfully it's not too much, and thankfully I'm not going really far, so that makes it a lot better. But today I got a lesson as far as like surrendering from wanting to control a situation. With me needing to move out, there's like different things I've had to take care of today. I think I made like 2 trips to the bank, just like taking care of like final like payments on things like with my utilities. And I felt a little bit resistant because I was like, oh, I just want to, not pay these, utilities, but I know I have to because I use the utilities, obviously. And the cost was like a lot higher than what I was expecting the final total to be. And so, but I was like, you know what? Just, it is what it is. Like, you're moving on. You are here to not cause any sort of, shake up in this. Like, just accept that you use these utilities. It is what it is, and just pay what you need to pay and move on. You're moving out tomorrow. You already have other things on your agenda that you need to take care of. So I knew at that moment that my higher self was speaking to me like, just do what you need to do, Selena. You know you need to pay this. Let it go. You've got the funds. Everything is working out. Just move through this. Move through. And what's interesting is after I left the bank, I decided I was like, do I go this way or that way? I was like, I can cross the street there, or I can cross the street at the other end of the block. So I decided, okay, let me go to the other end of the block. So there was like this book fair, like this huge, not huge, but there was like this tent set up where, I don't know, this educational company, they were selling like books, but not just any books. It was specifically an English book fair. So they had different, primarily these were like children's and young adult novels, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me see what they have. I saw like Where's Waldo. Who remembers Where's Waldo? Like, I actually picked up one of the books. I was like, I'm gonna find Waldo. I found him. What other books? Like Eric Carle, the Brown Bear, What Do You See? Polar Bear. You remember those books? Did your parents read you Eric Carle, or did like your school librarian or your teacher read you those books? Classics. So yeah, I mean, English education is a big thing in Korea. So this company put together a book fair, and they had all these books out. And I kid you not, like as I'm browsing, I am like thinking in my mind, I was like, do they have Harry Potter? Because, well, I'm a little late to the Harry Potter, party. With the school that I just finished teaching at, for my 3rd and 4th grade students, they have like an assigned novel like every month. And so with the kids that I was teaching, one of the assigned novels was the Harry Potter, the first book and the second book. So Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now I was kind of resistant, about like, okay, I'm the teacher, so obviously I have to read the book because I have to lead discussion. But I was pleasantly surprised by how much I really enjoyed Harry Potter. And so I made like the intention within myself. I was like, okay, at some point, this year, I want to continue reading all the books of the series. I've read book 1, I've read book 2. I guess maybe at this point in my life, like it's clicked and I finally get it. I was like, yeah, Harry Potter is really awesome. This book series is pretty cool. I get it. Like, and I guess like I see a lot of spiritual synchronicities within the book. Especially in the first book, where with me, you see I have the number 11 in my channel title. I see a lot of resonance with the number 11. And so in the book Harry Potter, he turned 11. And on the day that he turned 11, Hagrid showed up at the 11th hour. And I was like, this 1111 connection of this number being like a number of like spiritual awakening, awareness, and intuition. If you know the series Stranger Things, the character 11, you know, she has psychic and intuitive and telepathic abilities. I'm not telepathic, but that would be a cool skill to have. But in the moment that I was thinking in my mind, I was like, I wonder if they have like the Harry Potter series. Like, even if I didn't expect them to have all of them, but maybe they would have book 3 because I, you know, read books 1 and 2. So I just got finished paying, you know, the utility bill so that way I could be good and clear when I move out tomorrow. And as I'm thinking in my mind about Harry Potter, I kid you not, I saw not just books 1 and 2, but I saw all 7, all 7 books in the entire series. I was like, are you kidding? I was like universe divine, like you are clearly like reading my mind, my thoughts. I mean, I was going to buy them, you know, one at a time, but I was like, shoot, I just get all the books together. Why not? I can just have the rest of 2025 or maybe going into next year, just take me on this amazing journey of the Harry Potter adventure. So, oops, I almost dropped him. But I was just like, I have to get these. I was just like, I was literally thinking in my mind, do they have Harry Potter? I hope they have Harry Potter. I wasn't expecting all 7 books, and lo and behold, they have them. So I was pleasantly surprised, and I kind of felt like there was sort of like this balancing out, like as I surrendered to the reality and the situation of I need to make sure everything is clear as I prepare to move out of this apartment, pay my utilities, make sure everything is good on the financial end. And as I just let go and didn't try to like, you know, send an email or like a message like, can you recalculate that? Or are you sure? I just said, you know what? It is what it is. You know what you used. You know, just if you want to be more conservative with your energy usage, then take that going into the next apartment. So I just accepted, I let go of the resistance, I surrendered, and I just moved forward because I'm like, I'm trying to move forward and not, you know, go back and forth on those types of numbers in this regard. So I think that letting go and not having that type of resistance of trying to control, because I've been in situations like that before, and it was like, yeah, they were right. You know, this was not a battle that I needed to fight. And so I guess the lesson here of like also knowing when to pick our battles, so to say, and not every situation needs to be made into a battle. It doesn't need to be made into something bigger, because there's something else that you're meant to move towards, and that can move you outside of that energy of wanting to resist or control. So I think that the Harry Potter series literally just popping up as I, you know, had it on my mind, and as I also felt in a way lighter, like after I paid the bill, like knowing that I just accepted it. I said, yeah, okay, it is what it is. I accepted it. I felt lighter. It was one less thing that I have to worry about. I can focus on packing up my apartment, making sure everything is in the right order before I move out tomorrow. And then lo and behold, I get this beautiful gift of all the books in the Harry Potter series. And it's funny because I think a video I did about 2 days ago, I think it was day 16, it was called You Are Magic. And I referenced the magician card about how we can manifest and take what we have within our minds, like we can take the imaginable and make it tangible. And then I find this book series about a kid who literally is like a wizard magician. Well, let's say magician, the wizard, you know, Harry Potter, you know, he's got, you know, he's got some skills as he's learning his wizardry. But I just kind of found that connection, like the thought in my mind of like, I want to read all the Harry Potter books. I kind of set that mental intention like a few months ago as I finished, you know, reading it with my students. I was like, yeah, I'm really liking this. And so I feel my message today is finding ways to recognize what battles we don't need to fight and where we can just elevate and move into our higher self of like seeing the situation from more of a bird's eye lens and keeping our mindsets looking forward and recognizing that to stay stuck in these cycles of wanting to resist or control, we might be blocking something. Like I feel that if I had put energy into resisting this, or, sending out, an email or making a phone call, that recognizing this is not your battle, like accept, move forward, do your part, make the right impression, because, there aren't a lot of foreigners who are renting, in this complex. So how can I leave a good impression and allow my time in this space that I was blessed to live here, allow that to be brought to a positive sense of closure? And so by me doing my part and following through in a timely fashion, I was able to, I think, be presented with something that was really on my heart, in my heart and spirit of what I wanted to read into and what I was interested in. So I'm on the Harry Potter. I'm a little late to the party, but I'm here. I'm here. So if you're into Harry Potter, please no spoilers in the comments. But maybe you could tell me what your favorite Harry Potter book was in the whole series. I think maybe after I'll read them, I'll be able to have a favorite. But I definitely like the first book. I think I'll reread the second one because I read that with my students back in the fall. So it's been about 6 or 7 months. So I think I read book 1 with my kids back in March, so more recent in my memory. Book 2, I think I will start with that one again, now that I can kind of connect the dots in a way, because I started with book 2, then I went to book 1. So I think I want to go back to book 2 now to kind of connect and go in that sequence. So thank you for watching. So finding ways to, instead of taking that resistance, we'll turn that into energy that can allow you to focus on something that maybe perhaps your heart is seeking, or something that can bring you to a more forward position or a more elevated sense of perspective. So definitely got a good lesson today. I think I passed the test. I think that this whole situation was a test, and I think I passed it. So tomorrow, what will be the next test? The tests keep coming. So I'm trying to do my best to pass these tests that life throws at me, and I hope that you're doing your best to pass the tests that life throws your way as well. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one. And also, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. I definitely want to grow this community. If this message resonates for you, I'm here to share life insights, wisdoms on spirituality and clarity, and as we move through life, and I hope to share my insight and wisdom with you. So take care and have a good one.